Adam Schiff, because he created 3 years of a massive fallacy that did so much damage to this country and made us miss probably one of the most important stories of our lifetime. We were having hearings on impeachment while the coronavirus was exploding.
Greg Gutfeld recently attacked Congressman Adam Schiff in a flurry of live-streamed remarks.
Schiff, how are you?
Shame, shame on you. Oh, yeah. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Gutfeld.
So, Congressman, I gotta ask, how did it feel to have your ass chewed out like that in front of your colleagues?
Oh, well, I will say this, Mr. Gutfeld.
You should reconsider if you believe that politics could get any more amusing or annoying than it already is. You would not want to miss this. Regardless of whether you have been keeping up with every development or have only been sometimes catching up on news. Consider it Schiff. The subject of innumerable scandals and political gimmicks recently came under intense criticism from Gutfeld in the most conspicuous manner. Gutfeld jumped right in, criticizing Schiff for everything from his absurd dramatics to his unrelenting fixation on being at the epicenter of political turmoil. The coronavirus was erupting at the time of the impeachment hearings.
Hearings on impeachment while the coronavirus was exploding. We talked about that virus in green rooms, but we had to do this impeachment story. We had to show these hearings. It's all on him, man. He's got to go. They got to investigate him. They got to hold him accountable. I'm not going to say he should go to prison, but my evil twin will say he should go away to prison for a very long time.
When politics were at stake, it was like to watching a roast.
And the irony is superb. He went crying to mommy on an app run by Chinese commies. Congressman Adam Schiff announced this morning he's running for U.S. Senate in California, which is guaranteed to boost U-Haul rentals headed for Texas. He unveiled the highly polished and produced political ad right on the heels of getting booted from the House Intel Committee. Coincidence? I think.
With a style that is both critical and humorous, Gutfeld seemed determined to destroy every manufactured tale Schiff had presented.
Just pop their dentures when Schiff finally gets censored. And so the House condemns the lies of the man with the zombie eyes. Last night, the House voted on party lines to censure Adam Schiff for promoting the Trump-Russia collusion hoax, which was as believable as Brian Kilmeade getting fan mail. 2 for 2. Schiff becomes only the 26th member ever to be censured, but to his credit, he's still the only member to have a 12-inch.
You see, this was not merely a criticism. Rather, it was a tactical dissection, showing how Schiff occasionally behaved more like an unscripted playwright than a member of Congress. Gutfeld revealed everything with a grin that seemed to be sent through your television.
And the fact that Schiff hasn't blinked since 1992. And he didn't take the news so well. The disgraced Democrat went on TikTok to complain. Behold.
Hello, I'm Congressman Adam Schiff with some troubling news. Today, Kevin McCarthy removed me from the House Intelligence Committee, all for doing my job, for holding Trump accountable and standing up to the extreme MAGA Republicans.
Therefore, if this type of engaging yet challenging information keeps you interested, you should do yourself a favor. Press that subscribe button, because by supporting our channel, you're contributing to the continued production of such content. You won't miss a second of what can only be described as television treasure. Let's continue to piece together the drama by subscribing. Let's get started with what can only be called Greg Gutfeld's masterful parody of Congressman Adam Schiff. Greg has always been known to have a sharp tongue, but this specific piece was very unique. The blazing fire of his remarks was almost palpable through the television. It all began with the eyes, a typical Gutfeld blast. That's right, Schiff's distinctive eyes that seem to be following a breaking news item all the time. Schiff's eyes, Greg said, had this default setting of slight fear, as if he was always surprised by his own image. After that, Greg didn't simply stop. Absolutely not. He smashed through Schiff's seemingly endless litany of political nonsense. Consider the notorious Russia collusion story, for example. In his portrayal of Schiff, Gutfeld positioned him as the star of an endless political thriller rather than as a lawmaker.
For Adam, not even Mitt Romney could help him. Everyone knew there weren't enough votes to convict. Even the media, their only way out of this hell, pretending that Mitt was a hero. Poor Adam. He really thought he had him. Well, we've talked about who won the impeachment trial. Now let's talk about who didn't. As I've said before, don't think the Dems aren't going to stop trying to find dirt on Trump. They'll look anywhere. Hell, they'll go to a local high school if they...
Greg thought that was the true comedy, you know? Schiff appeared to thrive on these grandiose stories of conspiracy and intrigue. Leaving no space for facts, it was like seeing someone promise fireworks, but then arrive with sparklers.
Champions transparency, all the while saying the whistleblower might not testify, because it's a safety concern, he maintains, because we all know CIA agents can't protect themselves against non-existent threats, or that our government can't protect him from your Aunt Sally.
Our primary interest right now is making sure that that person is protected. Indeed, now there's more than one whistleblower that they are protected. And given that we already have the call record, we don't need the whistleblower who wasn't on the call to tell us what took place during the call.
Greg persisted in pointing up Schiff's stubbornness. Like an enthusiastic magician promising his audience the moon while concealing a secret pack of cards up his sleeve, Schiff remained steadfast despite the fact that countless conspiracy ideas came to light faster than your grandmother's old yarn ball.
Details about the conditionality of either the military aid or that meeting with the Ukrainian president, it may not be necessary to take steps that might reveal the whistleblower's identity to do that.
Not necessary so much for transparency, but like everything, the Dems haven't thought this through. So not only are you going to impeach Trump, you're going to do it in secret, in the dark, reversing an election based on hearsay from some anonymous guy you will never ever see who has ties.
For all intents and purposes, Gutfeld portrayed Schiff as a performance engrossed in his own overdone screenplay. He made a joke about how Schiff's public appearances resembled repeats of a long-cancelled show. What truly delighted Greg was Schiff's unwavering self-confidence in spite of his numerous mistakes, like a blackjack player who believes he can recover his loses with a smashed O card. It nearly made you want to shake him and ask, is this the legacy you want? Gutfeld then broke out the Schiff cycle, which is a never-ending cycle of dramatic allegations, vacuous claims of shocking evidence, and ultimate fade-outs. The next move will change everything, Greg thought, reminding him of that one unlucky friend. He emphasized how Schiff's statements were more suspenseful than substantive, more akin to movie trailers than real congressional findings. Those speeches, too, they had all the excitement of a DMV visit, long, boring, and sleep-inducing, Gutfeld added. Despite Schiff's dire predictions, the majority of spectators were distracted by their phones. Greg also targeted Schiff's appearance, which never matched his statements, including his nervous accountant outfits, clumsy ties, and his startled owl expression. Schiff appeared to be more of a supporting character than the star of the show, thanks to this roast, which was full of humor, insight, and ruthless honesty.
On the planet, and I guess he makes it work, Tyrus. But
Does he?
But isn't it? I mean, I don't want to get mad about this because he's such a joke, but the fact that he isn't going to be really get any punishment.
Shame, shame, shame. Shame on you. Oh, yeah. Oh, excuse me.
Gutfeld's roast of Adam Schiff became a political satire masterclass, transforming all of Schiff's exaggerated statements into hilarious moments. Greg claims Schiff sold non-events like they were top-secret spy thrillers and handled every small problem if it required a crisis squad. It was more reality TV, with Schiff as both producer and star, and less governance in one of his funniest jokes. Gutfeld likened Schiff to a Ken Burns documentary about himself, where he talks to history instead of voters. The victim narrative followed, and after years of irrational TV speculation, Schiff appeared surprised when responsibility was revealed. Theatrics, such as false alarms and conspiracy claims, were dismissed by Greg as stale replays. Schiff repeatedly yelled warnings in an attempt to elicit the same enthusiasm, but the crowd had become indifferent. Was he motivated by drama, optimism, or simply showmanship? The roast revealed the ridiculousness, the recurrence, and the tragicomedy of Schiff's political stagecraft, with Gutfeld at the forefront. Which of Greg's lines struck you the most? Now, leave your favorite in the space provided below.